pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You ready for me to certify? Okay. This roll call vote is to certify that to the best of each member's knowledge, only public business matters lawfully exempt from open meeting requirements under the Virginia Freedom of Information Act, and only such public business matters as were identified in the motion convening the closed session were heard, discussed, or considered during the closed session. Mr. Townsend?
Yes.
Ms. Stiff?
Yes.
Dr. Ariady?
Yes.
Mrs. Kimbrough?
Yes.
Mrs. Carson?
Yes.
Dr. Corbett?
Yes.
Mr. Tackett?
Yes.
All right. Thank you. Any additions or approval to the agenda? If not, we need the approval of the agenda.
I move we approve the agenda as
Second.
presented.
Second. All in favor? All right. All right, we're now to number 8, awards, recognitions, commendations, introductions.
Yes, ma'am. Ms. Carson and members of the school board, good evening. So this is always a good part of the meeting where we do some recognitions of our staff and students. So to begin with tonight, I'm going to call Mr. Good up to the podium where we're going to recognize our supervisors and ABM. Mr. Good.
Good evening, Ms. Carson, School Board Chair, School Board members, Dr. Jones. I had put this in Dr. Jones' office, and I thought he was going to do all this, and I was just going to sit back. He's the superintendent, so he's delegating. Anyway, before we dive into the heart of today's agenda, I think it's important that we just stop and just recognize some people who do a tremendous job each year, but they rarely get recognized. To be truthful, they're embarrassed about being here today. But I asked them to please come, and that's our supervisors, Mr. Daniel Jefferson, who's the supervisor of mechanics, Mr. Bruce Davis, who's the supervisor of food service, Mr. Wilkerson, who's the supervisor of maintenance, building and grounds. Then we have Mr. Charles Couch, who's our ABM supervisor, and of course the young person on our staff, Mr. Dante Smithson, who's the supervisor of transportation. So they come up and y'all can recognize them, and they do a tremendous job, but they always do it behind the scenes.
Thank you.
I don't have any money, so. Thank you. Thank y'all for the great job that y'all always do.
Good evening, Mr. Good.
Oh, that's nice.
Thank y'all so much.
Just to say thank you for all that they do. So when you think about a traditional school day, you think classroom. But these gentlemen and Mr. Good do a phenomenal job in making sure that the division is ready to open each and every day. So a lot of them, I would say the majority of them are here each morning, probably before 5:30 in the morning, to make sure that our facilities are ready, to make sure there's food to eat, whether it's truck to meet, and I get here pretty early and they're already here, so I feel like I'm late. To make sure that the bus is cranked, and if there's issues or if we have drivers, and that the rooms are clean and different things. So just all that they do. So like Mr. Good says, we always appreciate everything that everybody does. However, sometimes the support systems of the school system, which you call the backbone or the heart, doesn't always get the recognition that it deserves. So thank you for all that you do. All right. Ms. Carson and members of the board, next we will call up Ms. Shelley Clark-Reed to recognize our Boy Scouts for the outdoor classroom that they for the work they did at the outdoor classroom at the Prince Edward Middle School. All right. That's just my fault.
Good
afternoon, Madam Chair, board members, and Dr. Jones. On August 11, 2025, Prince Edward County Middle School proudly unveiled its newly renovated outdoor classroom and reward space. This project was made possible through funding from a PECPS grant and the dedicated efforts of Mrs. Runyon Weaver, Assistant Principal, Mrs. Linnea Motter, Mr. Charlie Motter, Mr. Mike Timma, and members of local Boy Scout Troop 6516. Scouts Eli Frederick, Matthew Haley, Kazu Denmore, Kenny Halliday, Troy Halliday, and Nathan Motter provided valuable assistance in bringing the project to completion. The 50 by 32 foot atrium now features 5 umbrella shaded tables with seating for up to 40 students, a teacher's stool and podium, and a landscaped area showcasing native Virginia plants. Already, this space has served as a dynamic learning environment with students conducting experiments, studying photosynthesis, and enjoying lunch in an engaging natural setting. So I have certificates, and I ask that you would come forward when I call your name. Mrs. Runyon Weaver. Mrs. Linnea Motter. Who is our EL teacher at the middle school, Mr. Charlie Motter.
He was a math teacher at Cumberland, so that's why I stumbled. He's actually, just to give you a little side note here, he's the first person I ever met when I went to Cumberland County Public Schools. February 14th, 2000.
I'm the reason for the slip up, just now.
I had a flashback.
Scout Eli Frederick. Scout Matthew Haley. Scout Kazu Denmore. Scout Kenny Halliday. Scout Troy Halliday. Scout Nathan Motter. So we are appreciative of all that they have done, and you can see the pictures. Our colors are represented. Mrs. Runyon Weaver was very intentional in using native Virginia plants. We thought it was a wonderful idea for our sciences, as well as all of our students. So thank you all again.
Do I have everybody?
I think so.
Gentlemen? I got everybody.
So it's always good. Thank you to the scouts and to their parents and to the sponsors and for all that they do. One of the things that Ms. Stiff mentioned to me earlier was that we always need to make sure that we recognize the work that our students do. They do a lot in the classroom, but they also, as you can see here, do a lot outside of the classroom with service. They do a lot of things for Prince Edward County and for the surrounding areas. So this is just one example of how great our students are. So thank you. Ms. Carson and members of the board, I'm going to call Mr. Jason Lee to come up to the podium. We have a donation from Gemini to the Prince Edward Career Technical Center, and Mr. Lee.
All right, so Madam Chair, Mrs. Carson, members of the board, and Dr. Jones. Early in the school year, got called to the main office, and by my surprise, there was representatives from Gemini with a $10,000 check that they donated to us for the use with our robotics program. So we received that and are planning to use that to kind of rebuild our inventory of robots and the use of supplies that we use to support that robotic program. So very thankful for them. We did reach out to them today. They were busy, so representatives from Gemini were not able to join us, but we're grateful for their donation. I'm very thankful. Actually invited them to come out and join our robotics class to take a look at what's going on there, and they will join us and accept that invite. But I was in correspondence with them today, but they were not here. But big thank you for the $10,000 grant. That's a great surprise to us, and very thankful to receive that. Yep.
That's always a great thing that when our community recognizes all that our schools do and they support us in other ways, and the businesses, and just thank you to Mr. Lee and to Mr. Foster and to the high school administration and all the team for all they do to make sure that our students get out into the community so they're able to see the different jobs that are out there in the different fields. And then on the flip side of that is the community gets to see how good our kids are and all that they can do and get to see them in a different light. So we have some workplace learning opportunities that'll start next Monday. That'll start on the 8th. So we have some different places that our students will be. So.
And I know it's not listed in here, I'd like to thank one more person,
Yes.
or recognize that person. Miss Patrick, you did look at us. We just want to say thank you very much for your time here at Prince Edward. Sorry to see you go, but we understand. But I know when you came here, you kind of helped us get our heads on straight, and we really appreciate it. And we would try to keep them on right there where they should be. But we wish you well in your future endeavors, and don't forget about Prince Edward. Okay? The door's always open.
Always eagle at heart.
All right.
Thank you.
And thank you for all you've done for us.
Thank you.
Okay, we're moving on. Public participation, there is none?
No.
Okay, thank you. Consent agenda, I need a motion to approve the consent agenda. Are there any questions?
I'll make a motion, we approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
Second. All right, all in favor? Number 11, elementary school construction update.
I think I moved this to
Madam Chair, should we come back to the public participation at 5:45? Just in case.
We can ask.
Yeah, we have to, yeah, I think we should.
Yeah.
Okay.
Check again if
We can do that?
Just to be sure that,
That nobody.
because we did a little early.
Not a problem. Just remind me.
Dr. Jones, Ms. Carson, the rest of the board. Here again, our quarterly update on the progress of the elementary school project. Hope you all had a good summer and back in the throes of school. It went by very quickly, so we're all kind of wondering where the last 12 weeks went. Same thing's happening from a construction perspective as well. Same agenda we've talked about before. We'll just give you some project updates and some next steps, and be glad to answer any questions. Been a lot of progress this summer. Again, super quiet project from our perspective. So some project updates from July and August. We are starting to navigate in English a little bit with some lead times with some of the equipment. It hasn't impacted schedule yet, just so far, but related to some lighting fixtures and some parts with air handlers. We're starting to see some impacts from the threat of tariffs and where those equipment pieces are coming from. Again, so far, English is kind of working through that through their supply network to make sure we don't have any impacts on schedule, but just we're starting to kind of feel that pressure a little bit in the market in general. Those items, again, we're working through with air handlers, some wood ceilings, and tile, and some casework. A lot of discussion around the kitchen. The kitchen work was not really included in the original project scope, just because of funding constraints. There's been some requests to maybe explore some additional kitchen work if the contingency might allow it. I think especially for those of us who go to Chick-fil-A, we miss our styrofoam cups. Styrofoam ban went into place on July 1, so that's impacting food service operations across the entire Commonwealth. I think the kitchen staff at elementary school is starting to see an increase in using the dishwasher system, and the pressure is putting on that. So we may need to look at replacing that. I know we're looking at maybe retiling the kitchen and some additional kitchen equipment. And English is working through that with Mr. Good and the rest of the team here just to see if the budget might allow that. Again, we're getting some costs for the the demolition of the existing flooring and some replacement of the kitchen equipment. I think I mentioned earlier on in the project there might be some opportunities for some phasing adjustments as English got into the project. We started to see some progress around the building. They're going to start coordinating a meeting with Will Scott, who are the providers of the temporary classrooms, about it's an opportunity to teach some students back into school earlier and to reduce the number of temporary classrooms in service so that we can maybe accelerate some of the site work next summer. So we'll keep everybody updated on that. In terms of just progress, I know you all probably ride by it often, go out there some as well. You're seeing lots of things happening. Some exterior framing still ongoing, and the new construction that's really starting to kind of take shape, and that new construction starting to become dried in. Interior framing is ongoing. We're working through signage and what that might look like in terms of naming conventions within the school. That's ongoing as well. We're wrapping up interior finishes, and I'm working with you all in leadership about the graphics that might go inside the school to celebrate the community and really celebrate the school community itself. So that's ongoing. Still working on getting exterior envelope enclosed. We're starting to see spray foam go up, and the brick will go on after that to really start getting that dried in before we maybe start seeing weather later on the early or late fall, early winter. All the services are being roughed in right now: mechanical, electrical, plumbing. You see lots of piping and ductwork and those kind of things being installed. Starting to see some gutter installation around the entire school as well as the roof work is ongoing. And then some targeted underground stormwater piping still going on as well as site becomes available. And then finally some ongoing electrical work and the coordination with their systems inside the school. Just a few examples of some images over the last couple months. You see some of the existing, some of the roof work happening, some of the tie-in of the new roof to some of the existing walls there on the left. Some of the interior forms starting to take shape, and certainly the exterior there, the main front door there between the existing parts of the campus that is bridging, so that's really all starting to take shape and hopefully starting to look like the images that were developed and presented to you all over the course of design. There's the dining room, so a lot of the renovation work happening there over the summer, some new lighting, new bulkheads, just starting for that, that's I go to summer before now it's back into use in the school year. And again, at Connect Development, you start to see some of that interior form take shape there on the right. That's really will be kind of the new main street of the school inside the new addition. And again, some of the services going in, all the steel's up now, roof deck's up, a lot of the drywall framing is going up as well, and you're starting to see piping and roof drain piping, HVAC piping, and ductwork. All those services are being installed as we speak. So next steps, really no change. Right now the project's on schedule again. English will start to look at maybe some ways to kind of reshuffle phasing a little bit as we get past the first of the year, once we get past the opening of the addition, to see if there might be opportunities to minimize and further reduce the impact on the students and the teachers in the school community. And then one of the first things that might happen is maybe demobilizing a few of those temporary classrooms sooner than later, just to free up the site and get more kids back into school sooner. Again, super quiet. Again, we mentioned this before. We've got a great construction partner with English. They've got folks on staff with, again, students here in the system, so they're super vested in the project like we are. And again, it's been a very, very quiet project, which we're very thankful for. So with that, I'll be glad to answer any questions y'all might have.
Any questions?
Yes, sir.
What's the situation with the kitchen? What was with upgrading the kitchen?
So there've been some discussions about replacing the floor tile, which is existing to the space, and that may be coordinated with some replacement of kitchen equipment that's really dated and probably does need to be replaced. Again, none of that scope was included in the original project just because of really just trying to solve some other problems related to the funding available. So I think there've been some discussion about do we think there's some money remaining in project contingency, not maybe doing some of that work while we have English here. I think some of those initial pricing is being developed just so you all can decide if that's something we might want to use those contingency funds for.
So the conversation has been about in the kitchen, in the work area, about there's currently a tile floor that's in there. So when there's equipment that's removed, having to retile some of that, but then the conversation of retiling that whole kitchen work area. And with that, that's not your normal tile. It's normal tile, but it is the preparation of that floor there would be a lot of removing of concrete, it's an in-depth job. So we are looking to see what the cost of that would be and if there is money left in the contingency fund, if that's a project we move forward with, or if where the floor just needs to be repaired, we repair that.
Or find some more money from somewhere else?
As Dr. Jones mentioned, all that is thick set, mud set, quarter tile. So it would be it'd be difficult to remove it, but again, if new equipment comes in and some of those services might need to be adjusted to accommodate any new equipment that is nearing its service life, it might make sense to go ahead and consider a more comprehensive renovation of the actual kitchen space work area proper.
And it sounds like it's something we should probably be doing as we're building it.
Yeah, if it's ever going to be, if it was ever going to be done, now would be the time to do it, as long as there's funding available.
That's right. Yeah, with the contractor on board and can coordinate all the things that would go involved with that. Yes, sir.
Is our work kitchen already air conditioned?
Yes,
Okay.
your kitchen is there.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
When will we have some idea of how much the cost of that is going to be?
I think over the next couple of weeks, English is putting those together with their subs and putting a comprehensive cost proposal together that includes all the pieces and parts.
And at what point will we know whether there'll be money left in the contingency fund to pay for it? Would that be toward the end or?
So go ahead.
No, I think over the next 6 months. I mean, I think this is work that would be done if authorized, would be done next summer.
Because everything would have to be taken out of the kitchen and.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. And next summer is the last summer we have before the school is scheduled to open.
Open in March of
Yes.
2027. Got it. Okay. So that kind of stuff, anything like that has to be done next summer.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so far changes to the project have been really minimal,
That's good.
which is really good. The change order percentage right now, I think, is like at 0.3%, something like that, which is really, really, really good for a project like this where there are lots of unknowns. We start opening things up, and again, we'll work with you all to monitor that contingency fund quite a bit, just to make sure if it's starting to look like there's funds available, then we have a contractor on board that can. There's some other areas that could be improved. Certainly the kitchen, we've talked about maybe doing some additional furniture. I know furniture was a big discussion when we started the project. And might there be some opportunities to replace, some additional furniture within the school as well. So those will be discussions that all happen really over the course of the fall, because if we want to move forward with that work, certainly next summer, we'll need to probably authorize it right after the first of the year.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Do you know how much is in the contingency fund?
So the contingency, we normally, when we put the project budget together, it is around 10% of the construction cost. So we should have started somewhere in the $3.5 to $3.8 million range.
So 0.3%, won't be much. There's likely to be
That's right.
money in the contingency fund.
If we don't start changing a whole lot of stuff.
Right, correct.
Between now and then, okay?
And if the cost of things
Don't go way up.
increase,
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, in terms of there are not a lot of projects on the street or in planning right now, so that's keeping, I think, cost generally in check for kind of pieces and parts and materials that might not be affected with tariffs. Everybody's still trying to understand now we're past August 1st, what's going to happen, what's going to be in the pipeline. We have a new middle school bidding in Henrico next Thursday, which will be the first kind of gut check in the market we've seen really in a number of months. We'll have a better idea of kind of where things are on a macro level. Things and materials and systems that are manufactured stateside, installed stateside, still should be in pretty good shape in terms of costs.
And I just want to add to this, I can't say enough about Mosley and English Construction and their crew, especially Chris Caton. Does a phenomenal job in leading that project, and Alex Amos and Nate, they do a phenomenal job, and they're very accommodating, because not only do we have this construction project going on, we have school in session, and there's lots of moving parts, and but they do a great job. So, and Mr. Good, he does a phenomenal job, and that's really when our support services really kick in, because there's just lots of moving parts, and they always rush to accommodate. So I appreciate all that they do. So,
yeah, I cannot say enough about English. They just really done a great job so far.
Yes, ma'am.
Dr. Jones, what then would be the next steps for the board? What decisions do we need to make? Because as you say, if it's ever a time for this to be done, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am. So what we would need to do is get the cost of what it would be for the kitchen renovation, and then cost of some equipment that needs to be replaced. And I know there's been a request to replace all the cafeteria tables in the cafeteria, to get new ones that are maybe a little more modern. So just getting all those prices, and then if that work has to be done in the summer, then of course there would have to be some authorization done for that. But when we go, this is where, and this project is new to me, I'm gonna play the new card on this. However, my reservations would be, furniture is something we can probably get at some point, but the kitchen renovation and just making sure the funding's there. And because once we obligate ourselves to that, let's say it takes place next summer, we still have about 9 months or 6 months or 7 months, 8 months of construction, and just making sure that the funding's there. So I worry about money sometimes, and you know, the kitchen floor and the equipment, if that needs to be replaced, that's one thing, because that's a necessity. That's a necessity. You have to be able to cook and provide foods. But a floor would be nice. Is it a necessity? So those are the kind of things we got to look at when it comes to pricing. So I'll be interested to see what that price is. So we'll keep you updated on that.
That's a good point about furniture. Furniture, you can always come back with if there is money left in the project, it can happen at any time. You all as a school system have access to state contracts to buy furniture at any time. The negotiated prices have already happened, so a lot of school systems take advantage of that. That's something we can certainly help in terms of identifying the things you might want after the project. That's something that you don't need a contractor for.
I said one quick thank you. Thank you all for, I think the site superintendent or site supervisor or something like that came to talk to the PTO. I just want to say thank you all for that. That is a tremendous help, and I think it kind of helps maintain that momentum and energy around the parents and the pickup lines about some of the traffic. You know, it's an easier sell. It's like, well, yeah, but just wait, we're going to get this new library, and so that just helped a lot too. Hopefully, maybe not every month, but like quarterly or something, that'd be a great way to keep momentum going and complaints down.
And the thing about Chris is he's a graduate of Prince Edward County Public Schools, and his kids go here. So you get, and he lives here. So and he works for a great company. So you get those 4 things in one project. There's a personal investment in making sure everything is good. So I can't say enough about him and all that he does on a daily basis.
Absolutely. Well, thank you all. Again, we'll keep you updated on the pieces and parts associated with the kitchen, and then it might be good at some point for us to just do a macro review of the budget and kind of see where we are from a contingency perspective as we get into the fall. Great.
Good.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Take care.
Thank you.
Before we'll move the podium all the way. Do we wanna do one more check for public comments before we forget that? And before we get comfortable moving the podium? I doubt that's changed, but just in case.
Somebody could come back and say,
We don't wanna get,
No.
nobody, alright, we're set.
Okay, we're gonna move on to number 12, DSBA Media Honor Roll, Dr. Jones.
Yes, ma'am. So each year, the Virginia School Board Association gives an opportunity for school boards to recognize local media. And this year, I'm recommending that we recognize three: the Farmville Herald, Brian Carlton, who does jobs covering the news, who is leaving the Farmville Herald. He's taking a job in Massachusetts, so I think they're in the process of advertising for an editor. WVHL 92.9. Each month I go on there with Peggy Love to highlight the school division. But then Richard LeSueur does the Richards Roundup with the athletics, and he had Mr. Eubank and myself on there when he took the job as the Prince Edward Athletic Director, just highlighting local sports and all that our kids do. And that radio audience, I get feedback from people that listen that maybe aren't normally in tune with the school community, so that's gone well. And then each month I also go to WFLO, and with the Talk Flow show with Chris Wood, and that's monthly just to highlight the school division. And they actually are through that partnership that we formed with WFLO, and doing that is, in the spring, they're considering taking some of our students as interns that may be in the broadcasting. So so they could see the radio production and different careers that may go along with that. So all of those things pay off. It gives different opportunities and a different voice. So with that, in order for these three organizations to be recognized, a resolution has to be approved, and then we send that into VSBA, and then it comes back with certificates, and then we'll invite them to a meeting to be recognized. But they do a lot for the community and for the school division, and so.
You need a motion, right?
Yes, ma'am.
I move that we, identify the Farmville Herald, 92.9, and WFLO as, honor roll, media honor roll for Prince Edward County Public Schools.
Second.
Second. All right. All in favor? Thank you.
Thank you.
What's coming around is the resolutions for those three things, so please sign them and come back for the end up here, okay? All right, we're going to be in,
That's me, right?
yeah, that's you.
Okay, there's a whole lot. Hope you had a chance to look at them. I would just let y'all know that when we go to the next one and look at the next one and we vote in October,
We're
up
caught
to
up.
date, we'll be caught up. Now, that we probably are due to get some more, but they usually
Usually
don't come out.
January.
You don't think we'll get some more this fall? Okay, good.
Knock on wood.
Yeah, but anyway, are there any questions about the ones we brought to you last month? We did not get any public comment. I just want to throw that back out there that not only are these for us to review, but it is also for the public to review these policies, and if they have any questions or concerns about them, they should just let us know. If not, if there are no questions, I would entertain a motion that we approve these.
Second.
All in favor?
All right, and then, I'm sorry, let me just keep going.
Yeah, next.
Yes, I'm still next.
All right, 13.
Okay, so we have more. Again, in your packet, it explains what the changes are. For the most part, there are the policies that have been updated for clarity. There may be some legal references or cross-references and footnotes added. There is a new JJAG is a new student athlete extreme heat safety protection policy. that Dr. Jones is working with the administration at the high school and middle school to make sure that we are in compliance with that. There's also a new policy, KGD, that is notification of schools connected with school overdose that is reflected because of a new Virginia law.
Ms. Kimberly, may I
Yes.
speak on that one?
Yes.
So for policy KGD, the notification of school-connected overdose, what that is that directs the school division, if it is confirmed that a student had an overdose at school, we are now required to notify the school, the whole body of that particular school, that there was a student overdose. And you do it in a manner where you protect the student's privacy. As we know, we're in small areas and there's only 3 schools. Usually you have to notify the entire school community because somebody has a brother or sister or aunt, uncle somewhere in one of the schools, just that there was a school-connected overdose. So, and you have 24 hours to do that once it is confirmed. So, that is a new policy. Yes, sir.
Have there been overdoses in the past?
Here?
Yeah.
Not that I'm aware of.
I don't think so. I hope we don't ever have any.
So, yeah, so that's why, when policies such as, we always want our students to be safe, absolutely, each and every day, every moment. But sometimes when there is a medical emergency associated with a student, that, knowing we have policies such as this, and once it's confirmed, while maybe we might be asking questions to families that seem a little intrusive, or we're asking law enforcement or somebody, because we have to know, because we have a timeline of what we have to do. So sometimes it seems that we're not being sensitive, which we are being sensitive, but then we have this thing called a policy that we have to go by that makes us seem a little insensitive.
So take a look at these. We will vote on them in October, and then we are
Caught up.
all caught up, which is a very good thing.
Any other comments about that? So we're gonna go to 14, information items.
Yes, ma'am. So I'm going to ask for Ms. Garrett to come up. She's going to give us a little how you worked, gave you your information, how we partnered with Chris Jones, not Chris Jones of Longwood, but Chris Jones of VASCD, and some professional learning that we're going to do with their administrative staff throughout this school year. So I want Ms. Garrett to give you an update. Do you want the podium?
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
All right, Madam Chair, members of the board, Dr. Jones. So I'm here to talk to you all about the partnership we have with Executive Director Chris Jones of Virginia Association of Teaching, Learning, and Leading, VATLL. They've changed their name. So, and really that is a group in Virginia that actually does professional development all over the state. And he is actually the executive director, and he's going to work with us. And what he's going to do is he's going to come 18 full school days, 6 for each school, and it's going to be half in the first semester, half in the second semester. And he's going to partner with us on how we observe in the classroom. So he's going to work with us in the first semester, walk with us, talk to us about how we're observing, collecting data. We're going to have conversations about it, and then we're going to put it in practice for the second semester. This actually kicked off with a half-day workshop with him one evening last week, I believe it was, where he kind of walked us through what the process would be, and we really talked about what we would be looking for with observable data in the classrooms.
And on that, thank you, Ms. Garrett. So just to give you an example of what it may be, so let's say we go into a classroom. If we all went into a classroom, sometimes, in education we love a form. We do. And our Google Doc or something. Okay? That sometimes you're not really focusing what's going on in the classroom, you're really focused on that form. Have I checked this box? Have I wrote down what Chip Jones said? Written down what Chip Jones and whatever. This you go in and you're collecting the data such as the room setup. How are the students arranged? How many times are students called on? If a teacher asks a question or the instructor asks a question, are they given appropriate wait time? Or is there a certain amount of just certain students that we're calling on. Am I calling on Mr. Good because he knows all the answers? Because you're in here and checking that off and how many times? And then is there a certain student group that I'm not asking the questions to? And then is it appropriate wait time? And then just seeing what is the intention of the lesson, and are the students learning that? So it's really, you go with your own, and then you come back and you have a conversation about it. So if we all went in, we're gonna come back and debrief about it, and then we're gonna go into another classroom. And the goal in the spring is to grow our administration in instructional conversations, the coaching piece, and giving feedback. And it's not, in education, we're always quick to give the answers because we're fixers. You have an issue, we're gonna fix it. We might want your input, we might not, but we're gonna fix it, and you're gonna like it. And but in this, you're having the conversation of helping the teacher come to the answer, to the realization, and it's different. It's a different approach, and it'll be some intense work. The principals may utter a few words about me along the way, and that's okay. But at the end, if it improves the outcomes of what our students are learning and the quality of our instruction, it's a win-win for everyone. So.
Any questions?
This one is focused on teaching our administrators.
Yes, yes.
To do a successful-
So really, if you've been in education for a minute or two, it goes back to the basics of different things of when you look at different time on task, and when you used to chart of who's being asked questions, and so the goal is to lead the instructor to being able to answer the question, or you're given specific feedback. So it's a process. It'll evolve over time. Now I will admit, the first time that you go into a classroom and there's the first debrief can be interesting because it's the data you're collecting. I may see something that Ms. Garrett doesn't see, and she may see something that Ms. Carson doesn't see. So, but it really helps have a conversation of who are we calling on in the classroom, and it just, and it's all about the data.
It's more of like a clinical observation model.
Something that
Yes.
used to be there.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, sir.
So you're going, well, you're gonna present it, the school board is gonna present it to the administration and to the principals, is that what's going on?
Chris Jones is the gentleman that we've contracted with, so we did a professional learning with them last week in one evening. So it'll start next 2 weeks. Starts on the 15th.
15.
With the principals?
Yes, the principals were part of the conversation with Chris Jones. It was a 3-hour Tuesday evening workshop that me and old superintendent made people say from 3:30 to 6:30 for this. And then we will start with Chris Jones. I think he'll start at the high school on the 15th.
And they're making it more intuitive, like,
Yes.
So the goal will be that I sit down and talk to you and show you what I've observed, that there's 25 people in your room, and you called on 3 people 5 times.
Yes.
And then after we finish our conversation, the goal would be then you, Ms. Garrett, as the teacher, to say, oh my gosh, I really need to figure out a way to start calling on more people, versus me saying to you, Ms. Garrett, you only called on 3 people, and from now on you've got to call on more people.
That's the goal.
Whereas it's a lot easier for me just to tell you what to do, because I do know what to do, but it's way more effective if you figure it out for yourself. Is that
Yes.
right? Okay.
And the data's there,
And
so
the
it's
data-
not,
right, I mean,
it's not
you
what
did-
I'm saying, it's like,
I counted how many people you.
yes, right.
Right.
Or you can write the questions that the teacher asked, and you
Yes.
can
Oh, yes.
have
They're
them read
all
the
on-
questions, yeah.
Let's find those on the hierarchy.
Yes.
Because I think sometimes, and what I've seen is when we spend it's always important what students are learning. And it's always important what there's a standard. And then it's important to unpack the standard, see the intention of the standard. And sometimes we spend a lot of time on that, and that's a good thing, but at some point either you get it or you don't. And there has to be some professional initiative to learn that. But then we need to transition to what are the students actually learning and doing, and then what is the data that we see? Who's answering the questions? You know, it could be a simple, and is the room conducive to learning? What's the setup of the room? And just getting into the basics, and then asking or prompting where when you ask something that the instructor or the person, it may even be an aha moment for the administrator, that, hey, you know, maybe the room needs to be redesigned, or we're just calling on this one group of students because they know it and that makes us feel good. And just, it's kind of digging deep. It gets to the root. It's pretty exciting when you think about it. So it really gets back to teaching.
And one thing Chris Jones did say is he said it's almost as though you're going in and doing what the teachers aren't able to do because they're teaching. So you're able to observe and see things and put in observable data, things that they weren't able to see. So you're presented to them.
Almost like recording themselves. I
Right.
had to do that,
Yes,
and it's very eye-opening when you record yourself.
yes.
Very eye-opening.
So we'll give you updates along the way.
That's
Yeah,
good.
may I?
Yes, ma'am.
One observation about the discussion. When you all are interacting with this program, at some point in time, do you take into consideration, not you, the program, takes into consideration how the students are learning? See, and as I think about learning and how learning is obtained, it takes me to that adage of, give me a fish, I'm gonna eat today. But if you show me how to fish, I'm gonna eat forever, so to speak. So does the program lend itself to observing how that student or the students are learning?
So I think the questions that he's going to be asking for reflection will get to that point. Instead of what are we teaching, I think this is going to do more of the reflection of what are the students learning and how.
Because there are some variables in learning.
So I think it's one of the, and Ms. Steph, I think I with what you're saying, I was in a classroom the other day, and it was a first grade classroom. And the students are counting. And one little student asked me if I could help her. Sure, I'll be glad to help you. What am I helping you with? And so, I don't know, they had to pick 3 number cards, and let's say they picked 6, 1, and 7. And then we have to come up with the sum. And she's on her fingers. And we were going to be there a long time coming up with the sum, okay? So we just used the resource. They had some indicatives that we used. We grouped them. You know, you got 1 red block. Now let's get 6. How many is that? Well, we got 7. And then if we add 6 more, 13. And then just using the number line. So yes. So we had to redefine how she was going to learn it because the fingers just weren't quite cutting it because she only has 10. And we were running out. So just, it was an aha moment for both of us. So we had to kind of go back to the basic a little bit. But I watched her after that because I went around and helped another. Because once you help one student, especially elementary, they all need help. And I did a lot of counting that day. But I did watch her out of the corner of my eye, and she got them all right because I kind of did a spot check. So gave her a knuckle bump and we went on our way. So it was exciting.
Sounds good.
Thank you, Ms. Garrett. Alright, we are 15, calendar. You want to speak on that?
Yes, ma'am. So if you see in there, this is the different events that are coming up for the calendar. You see that next week is the early dismissal. It's hard to believe it's already parent-teacher conference day and interims that are going out. Next day is the 12th. It's a professional learning for staff. And then you see like September 30th, the elementary school honor society induction. October 1st is the middle school national junior honor society induction. And then April, I'm already in April, I get spring. I got the kids on my mind. October 8th, school board meeting. And you know, each day I try to update you on the different events that are coming up, athletic events, and so you see the different things that are taking place. October, as a reminder, we have our training at the VSBA that is coming up, and the fall breaks in there, report cards, and you can see. It's a busy time of the year. So.
Look up and it will be Christmas.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Superintendent's report, did you have?
Yes, ma'am, just a little bit. As you know, we're, Ms. Carson, members of the board, we're about 5 weeks into school. Hard to believe August came and August is gone. September is here. So, and we've had a nice little fall weather. Just to give another shout out to Mr. Lee and to Ms. Jones and Ms. McClure and everyone that's helped us get our cosmetology program off and running. So that is going pretty well. I went in there the other day and we talked about the different infections, why you have to sanitize and infections and different things. Makes you think about a different haircut, different things. I'm not gonna lie, but they were doing well. Our 5th grade students actually started today. They traveled to the Armory. It's not on Fort Pickett's base. It's the Armory outside of the base where they started the Star Base program that we are part of. So a different class will go each day for 5 weeks, and it's hands-on learning, science, technology, arts, science, and math. And school divisions are booking their time to go to that, and the Star Base staff actually came and met with the middle school to go over their syllabus and different things. So anything they may miss during the school day, they were incorporating it. So it's a good thing. And thank you to Mr. Good and Mr. Smithson for helping arrange the transportation. And I will say, Prince Edward County Public Schools was the first school division to commit to send students. So we led the way on that. So that's always exciting. So that started today. I plan to go visit to see how it's going. Athletics, fall sports are underway. There's a JV football game happening right now. And just thank you to Mr. Eubank and Ms. Warm and the coaches, administrators, players, families, and transportation. When you think athletics, you don't always think transportation, and there's a scheduling piece that goes along with that. To Mr. Good and Mr. Smithson for making sure that happens. And each time, and their band made their debut on Friday night at the game. So that's always good. So they sounded good. The cheerleaders, there was lots of school spirit. The concession stand, athletics is taking the concession stand back over, and they were doing some cooking. So it's always good. Community engagement. This past Saturday, I actually had the opportunity to have a date night with my wife. That doesn't always happen, and we went to the Bridge Builders fundraiser that was held right up here at Fireman's Arena. And what that is a fundraiser. Thank you to Mr. Townsend and to the Moat Museum staff for helping coordinate that. And that is a partnership between Prince Edward County Public Schools and Fuqua School, where students actually go to the Moat Museum and take a class, and they work on different projects. So they raised a little over $9,000.
I think it might have just hit 10.
I just hit 10. So that was the first event that they've done for that. So it was good, and there was lots of community support. And Ms. Tibbs, while she was there, got an idea for the high school and Mr. Lee because the high school's getting ready to have their first homecoming dance. And there was a little dance machine there that kids will really enjoy. So yeah. What do you call it? It's
like the 360 camera, and then it's a different version of like a photo booth where you can get like the 5 different poses, but you're able to pick your own background, and it is able to send it to them electronically, so they're no longer having to pay for pictures and things like that.
And they can have their phone because that's not during bell to bell. And, so I want to give that. And we are fortunate enough, we have a DJ in residence here that's going to do our music for the homecoming family. So, and then, of course, you've seen if you follow the school division social media, the different community organizations that have donated things to the schools, whether it's been food, whether it's been supplies, and all that they do. So there's a lot of good things that happen. Professional learning, Ms. Garrett talked about with Chris Jones, and then also, our principals will go next week for their first session of, scope. So that is a partnership that we have with UVA, and we're part of it, and where they get to collaborate with other administrators across the state, on different projects. So I think you meet 6 times a year, and it's just an opportunity. So that kicks off next Wednesday evening. There's a dinner. I'll go with them that evening, and then they have a professional learning session on Thursday, and then sometimes the sessions are virtual, and then sometimes they travel to different schools. So that's always a good thing, because it's always, sometimes it's good to step outside your reality or what you know, just to see the other things that are taking place. And then it's a 2-year commitment, and then after that they do a project that they have to present, and they present it to different. It's exciting. So is this the first year Prince Edward's participated in that?
Yeah.
So it's good. I think it'll be a good thing. Classroom visits and celebrations. I've had an opportunity to spend some time in classrooms, not for your typical instructional observation, just to go in and see. And there's a lot of good things taking place. There's school nutrition. If you haven't seen this on social media, the fruit bar and the different foods that the kids have. Today it was chicken and waffles at the high school, and they love it. And our school nutrition staff is so talented that they made the waffles look like a funnel cake. So kids loved it. It's just those little different things that make a difference. They had jambalaya the other day.
They had low country boil.
Low country boil the other day, and that line for the low country boil was backed up out of the cafeteria. So it was good, and the kids did very well standing in line so they could get their low country boil. So it's in a wing bar, and what's something else?
They have been doing different like specialty subs. They have ribs. They have and really and truly, like what the pizza line that used to be very long is now like the shortest stuff that they are truly going
The
to.
fajitas they had the other day, they could get
quesadillas also,
and it was good. So kids are doing that. That gets them excited for the food and lots of things. And then of course, there's been a lot of change for Prince Edward schools this year since July 1. Students are getting acclimated to the dress code. Some days go better than others, some moments go better than others. And then the bell-to-bell for communication devices is moving along. So that's probably gone better than expected. So we're just adjusting to that. You saw, hopefully last Friday, we did receive a check for $5,000 from T-Mobile for the Friday Night Lights. Now we're in the running for a $25,000 from T-Mobile. So we'll keep you posted on how that goes. And I thank Ms. Tibbs on that. That is based on social media shares and likes, correct?
Yes, it is.
And
the high school administrative team and athletic director are happy to show anybody how to do that if they need assistance.
And I think Mr. Eubank told me that right now Prince Edward High School is the only school in Virginia in this.
Yes.
Yes. So we're trying to make some strides. And then our SOAR, that's our initiative. Right now is September. It's always Student Attendance Awareness Month, but always encouraging their students to be here every day. And not as easy as it used to be back. I usually like to say back in the day, but just encouraging their kids to be here and just always working on that. And this is also September is National Suicide Prevention Month with the mental health. There's always mental health and mental health issues are more prevalent than people know. And from a personal note, last week my son's good friend committed suicide. So that's been, he's making it. So you don't know the impact till it hits you personally. That's right. But we're making it through that. And one of the things that I've learned about that personally, and I think I'm guilty of it as a parent, and as you move forward with children, is I don't know that we always teach our kids the best way to cope, because we want to protect them, and then when they have something that they have to deal with, you backtrack and you think, how do you help you through this? And then you worry, as a parent, you always worry within their development. So, hindsight, but the family's making it and people are coping. Partnership, this month I toured the governor's school. I went up there I had to go up there and went into different classes for the governor's school, and so it's going well. Welding started along with electricity, and then we do have a student, Southside Community College this year, in partnership with Longwood, started Teachers for Tomorrow at Southside, and there's 2 school divisions that are participating, Prince Edward and Charlotte County. So we are in there. We hope to grow that program. And usually Southside won't keep a class if it has less than 10, but they're committed to helping us grow teachers, and they kept this program. So that's always good. And as you can see, I'm just grateful for everything that everybody does every day. They're probably thinking I'm a lot to put up with on a daily basis sometimes, and I own that. But all that they do each and every day, the work they do, and just thank you for all that you all do and the support that we're doing to each day make Prince Edward County Public Schools just a little bit better each day. So thank you.
And thank you for everything that you're doing. So that you know that we're watching and people are talking. But they do say you're everywhere. So, you're everywhere. Yes, he is everywhere.
I like to walk. I like to walk while I can. That's what I say.
Okay, we're gonna move on to board member comments.
I have a comment.
Okay.
I was reading the article in the paper, some pass rates remain the same, and we made accomplishments last year. And I want to say to principals and everybody who was involved in helping to increase the scores, helping to increase the morale, helping the students to achieve what they achieved. Thank you, because last year was not normal, to say the least. And I especially want to highlight the high school. As much as, we were concerned about, are they going to get there? The high school did quite well, thanks to Ms. McQuaid-Chicks, who is gone, retired, so to speak, and, good luck on her retirement. But all those parents, teachers, students, staff, and anybody that you can name that helped to put us forward, helped to make us better, thank you. We are more than some pass rates remain the same, okay? Thank you.
Kane, and then Ms. Kimber.
Yes, wanted to echo what Dr. Jones said and thank everybody for coming out to the Bridge Builder fundraiser. We have started our 4th cohort this year. So far so good. One of our Boy Scouts from earlier. So as you can see, we have students of many talents, but that was really a fun time and raised some money for a very good cause. Another just plug here, we today, I question bringing this up because depending on what time we get out of here, so I'm gonna hurry up through it. Fresh Girls Club has a spirit night tonight at Wendy's, so if you don't know what you're doing for dinner, just swing through Wendy's on your way home and grab you something. A certain percentage of the proceeds go to the Fresh Girls, and Fresh Girls do a lot of good work for Prince Edward County Public Schools as well. And I just want to say how just the energy around the division lately has been really excellent. So thanks to all the staff and the professionals who make that possible. Have not had to do much getting my kids out of bed these days. 2 of the 3 are up and at 'em and ready. The crowd is going around as it always is, but we manage, we get our doctor's notes and we keep it pushing. So we appreciate all you do at all 3 schools, and seeing that construction is also coming along quite beautifully. So 2027 will be here before we know it. So that's all I got.
Well, I Dr. Jones, want to thank you for those of you who don't know, he sends out a list of what all's going on, and you really, literally, sort of are everywhere, and I appreciate that because I get stopped in at church, in the grocery store, everywhere, telling me how excited they are and all that you are doing, and we really, it is well noticed, and we appreciate it. And I also want to shout out, I just looked at the attendance for August, and I tell you, I hadn't seen numbers like that in a long, long time. And I've always believed that when children come to school, you cannot learn if you're not here. And so I shout out to all parents for getting their children here, and schools for making it a place where kids want to come. And that's huge. And so thank you to the elementary, middle school, and high school staff, teachers, administrators, everyone for making our schools a place where kids want to be.
Anyone else?
I'll just piggyback everything that's been said, just the positivity that's been across our division, our school community, across our 3 schools, just every team member that's a part of Eagle Country, Eagle Nation, whatever we want to brand that name. It is exciting. It's been such a positive beginning. And like Ms. Stiff mentioned, as far as being better, I've always been about a growth mindset as far as any organization, but and you can sense that, you can feel that, and just take that growth that we've had and just continue to get better with every day we have. So we've been seeing that, and it's unbelievable. We're into the 2nd month of school. August is left, but it's all been positive. I've not had one comment given to me across the school community, different places I've been, and it's all been positive from parents, from school, from community members that don't have kids in the division, as far as just the good things that's been said. So it's hats off to all our staff members, students, and parents, and everybody.
I would say a word about the improvement in the meals
Oh, they're
at the
delicious.
schools.
You should go eat.
I've been eating at the school since I was in pre-nursery and through graduate school, and it's an important part of the day, and it's much enhanced when the food is good. And they hear about the line for food, not the pizza line, says a lot about how excellent the food is.
I'd just like to, it's good to see the administration here with us tonight, with this new high school administration. It's good to see you. And I appreciate the energy that's in the board tonight, the energy and enthusiasm that's here. So I hope we can take that on out to the community.
Yes.
Motion to adjourn.
No, we gotta do the.
Oh.
Almost.
Motion to approve the board personnel. That was a discussion.
We've got to vote on.
We gotta vote on some stuff.
You couldn't give me a second, Jim?
Well, you can do it after.
Yeah, we'll let you do it.
No, you
I
can
think
do
I
it
can do that
after.
again, please.
All right. At the items that we need to vote on?
Yes,
About the
ma'am.
closed session?
Yes, ma'am, so you need to, circle the action items of the closed session, the personnel agenda.
Motion to approve the personnel agenda as presented in closed session.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Abstaining.
You're the same, okay?
The religious exemption, 7 religious exemptions.
I move that we approve the 7 religious exemptions as presented during closed session.
Second.
Second. All in favor?
Ms. Steph, are you voting yes?
And
D.
D.
Do we have to do D?
Yeah, we have to do D.
Do you have to see the student discipline report? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Student, yes ma'am, the 25-26 Superintendent Community Advisory Committee and the 25-26 advisory committees.
I move we approve those appointments.
Second.
Second. All in favor?
Now.
Motion to adjourn.
Second. Second. All in favor? Thank you all for coming. Thank you.
Almost time for dinner.